CBS News foreign correspondent Ben Tracy is standing by. He's with me now in Beijing. So, Ben, it appears as if this latest test came as a little bit of a surprise to the U.S. What's been the reaction?
Yeah, I'd say actually quite a big surprise. You saw the military originally come out and say that they thought this was an intermediate range missile because it was not widely believed that North Korea had perfected the technology to this point to be able to launch an intercontinental ballistic missile. So I think first of all, there was quite a bit of surprise when this happened, just in terms of what North Korea was able to do. In terms of the response, there just aren't a lot of good options. So you have seen the United States do basically what they can do. The U.S., along with South Korea, this morning launched a bunch of missiles in South Korea into the sea, basically a not so subtle reminder to North Korea that we have missiles too, and they're awfully close to your border. The U.S. has also called for an emergency meeting at the United Nations that'll happen this afternoon, trying to rally the international community to likely impose even stronger sanctions on North Korea. So far, that's the response you're seeing from the United States.
So what about China? You know, China has sort of long been seen as the diplomatic key here. Did they express any position on this latest test?
Well, you know, China and Russia just came out in the last couple of hours and said that they oppose any effort to resolve this crisis by force or with sanctions that would economically strangle North Korea. Well, if you take both those things off the table, you're not left with a whole lot to work with. So I think the message from China and now from Russia to the U.S. is we're probably not going to do what you want us to do. President Trump has been trying to pressure China to take more action on North Korea. China, in response, says, hey, we've done everything we can do. This isn't really our problem to solve. You should start talking to North Korea if you want to solve this problem.
Okay, so China says we've done everything we can do. The belief is that basically, you know, China is a lifeline to North Korea, that the country couldn't function without the support of China. What has China been doing?
It is true. China is North Korea's one main ally. They account for more than 80% of the trade with North Korea. So yes, if China were to say, hey, everything's done today, that could cause the North Korean regime to collapse. China has stopped buying coal from North Korea. It has curbed some of its oil and diesel exports to North Korea. But China's position has been fairly clear. They don't want to see the Kim Jong Un regime collapse. They're afraid if that happens, that will so destabilize the Korean Peninsula that you could end up with a nuclear war because he would simply have nothing to lose at that point. So they're looking a couple steps ahead here and saying we don't want to do anything that leads us to that position.
Ben Tracy in Beijing, sure to be a hot topic at the G20 summit and beyond. Thanks a lot, Ben Tracy.